Hello everyone, it's Mrs Pileggi here. I'm going to show you this week. We're doing some work on fractions. Now we've done some work on fractions before, but I'm going to go through it with you. So the first task, at the end of this video, you are going to come up with a list of vocabulary to use through the week. So it might be handy to get a little pen and a piece of paper and start writing down some of the words that I'm using now, just to help you out. So we're going to be looking at fractions of shape this week. So I'm going to show you a really common fraction that lots of you already know, and it looks like this, okay? You probably already know that this fraction is called half, okay? That's how we say that fraction. And this number up here, if you really want to be fancy and impress your parents, this number up here is called the numerator, okay? So I'll do a little arrow. Right, numerator, should have given myself more space. And down here, this number here, the fancy name for that is called the denominator. Denominator. Okay, so we've got numerator and denominator. It's a really fancy word, but it basically means that down here, these are how many parts make the whole, and this is how many I want to colour in or how many I want to take away. For example, if I had a circle like this, okay, I've got two parts of the whole, so there's my two parts, and I only want one. So I'm going to colour in one. So half of the circle has been shaded, okay? Here's a triangle, a different shape. I need to put it into two parts. There we go, there's two parts all together, and I only want one fraction. I'm going to shade that part. Half of the triangle has been shaded. Now in year 2 we need to know halves, and we also need to know this fraction. So there's going to be 3 parts of the whole, and we only want one part. This is called a third. Okay, so if I had a circle like this, I can put it into 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. I only want one part coloured in. So I've coloured in a third of the shape. Okay. Another fraction that we need to learn in year 2 is this one here. This one is called quarter. This is showing 1/4. So how many parts make the whole? 4. So if I draw my circle, I need to put it into 4 parts to make the whole. How many parts am I going to shade? 1. That's 1/4 of the shape shaded, okay? Now we can also change this top part here, this numerator. In year 2 we need to know more than just 1/4. We can have another shape put into 4 parts like this. And this time I'm not just going to shade one part, I'm going to shade 2. So this time the numerator, very posh, the numerator changes to 2. 2 parts have been shaded, but there are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of the whole altogether. Don't forget to include the parts that have been shaded, because that's what makes up the whole. So this one, we would say 2/4 has been shaded. And another thing we need to learn, my circle, a bit wibbly wobbly. There we go, I've got it into quarters. There's 4 parts to make the whole, and I'm going to shade in 1, 2, not very neat colouring in, Mrs Pileggi, 3. This time 3 parts have been shaded in, but there are 4 parts altogether, 3/4, okay? Just to go over that one more time, we're looking at fractions. This top number, the fancy word for it, is called the numerator, denominator. This fraction is called a half because one part has been shaded in, but there are two parts of the whole. This one is called a third, okay? There's one part that has been shaded in, but there are three parts of the whole. And this one, this fraction here, is called a quarter. One part has been coloured in, but there are four parts of the whole. 2 quarters, because 2 parts have been shaded in, 4 parts of the whole. And this one, 3 quarters. 3 parts have been shaded in, but there are 4 parts all together.